Alright, boys, what we saying? I'm just gonna like teach you how to revise properly. Right now I'm an A level student. In 2 weeks I'm gonna have my final exams, so wish me good luck. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, with revision, right? People do like, I don't know, like they say they do like 5 hours of revision a day, 6 hours of revision a day, bro. You're not doing 6 hours of revision. You're doing 6 hours. You're doing like 2 hours of actual revision, and the rest you just on your phone or probably something like that. You just want to flex that you're doing 6 hours. Now, the thing is with revision is what you need to do is minimize the actual time you are revising and maximize the time you are retaining that information, right? What I would advise you to do and what I do is, hold on, let me get this one revision booklet. Not this one. Right. This is my revision booklet, right? This is where I do my active revision. Active revision is just basically, say you got the textbook. Say this is my textbook right here. I read it, and then I open my revision journal, and then I write what I just remembered, right? Now, if you keep doing that, you'll remember it. But the thing is, in like a day or two, you're gonna forget it. What you need to do is recall that information. Because the thing in exams, right? You're not. The thing you're actually doing is going back. Is not going back to that revision session and say, oh, in that exact revision session, I learned the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell or something like that. No. What you're doing is trying to remember the information, right? Now, I do psychology, and with memory, there's a lot of advanced techniques you could do, right? But I'm just gonna give you the simple guide. So what you want to do is have a context cue. Now, a context cue is something which is similar to the environment of which you're going to recall the information. So, say if you listen to music while revising or studying, and in the exam hall, obviously there's no music. So that's automatically a context cue which is not parallel, is not the same. What you need to do is either what I do now is revise in silence or revise in as minimal amount of noise as you can. Now, how you do this is just like, I don't know, close your door or something like that. But the next is state dependent cues, right? State cues. Like, the state is basically how you are in that moment. So if you study drunk and then in the exam you're not drunk, like it's not gonna work, right? So say if you, I don't know, I sometimes take caffeine before I study because I think it's shown like how a higher heart rate helps with the recall. But what you need to do is if you take caffeine while you study, you take caffeine right before the exam too. You see how the states are exactly the same, and now we had the context which is exactly the same, the no noise thing. And then there's, I think, context. No, not context. Something about environment, but that's fine. We can just skip that one. So right here we have my revision journal. So this is all my revision. Basically, literally all you do. This is all revision is, right? Is basically just read the textbook or read whatever passage you want to learn. Write it down. Keep writing it until you remember it. That's literally all revision is. And then to actively recall that information, you can go do I don't know, practice questions or just exam questions in general. Also, yeah, just another quick tip: don't revise with people. Like, don't have these. let me do my fucking study group, bro. No, it's not gonna work. No, I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna work. Because all you're gonna do is just talk to each other, and you're gonna get no revision at all. Also, with this, the context dependent, you're not gonna be in a group when you're in the exam hall anyway. You're gonna be by yourself, right? There's no one there to help you. No one's coming to save you. All right. And say you get the question, and then you get like a kind of example to go with the question, or like a scenario. You need to read that scenario very, very, very carefully, and read the question exactly the same. Because if you like, the thing with exams is like the letter, the word that is written is very, very specific. In psychology, we just had a lesson where we go over like different command words, so you can have like discourse, outline, and explain and stuff like that. Read those very, very carefully, because if you misread those, your answer is done. Like, say you had like the maximum amount of marks in psychology for one question is 16 marks. Say I misread the question and I don't know, explain something instead of evaluating it or saying the pros and cons. I wrote a whole 16 mark answer and I got no marks for it. You need to be reading it very, very, very carefully. All right, I'm gonna tell you something that I don't personally do, but people use like flashcards or like cue cards. I think those are very, very helpful. I was just too lazy to make them at the start of the year, and there's no point making them now. So use those. Those are very, very helpful too. Um, in college we have something called the fucking study cycle or whatever, man. There's some truth to it, but it's kind of just trash. Study cycle is basically just learning lesson and then active, like, what's it called, review after the lesson and then revise it and then bro, forget that, man. Just literally just do active revision and then you learn the stuff, like, that's it. Also, the thing with long term memory is that if you're doing an exam tomorrow, it's not gonna be in your long term memory. So just use the tips that I used before. Also, if you have an exam in like a month or 2 months or maybe like 3 months, like me, well, not like me, I did that out. Say you got an exam in like 2 weeks, like me, and you want it in your long term memory, or it's like an actual subject you like or you want to pursue later on, and you need the information. What you want to do is make that information, that specific information, very, very meaningful to you. It could be that, or it's something I want to do in the future. So it's obviously you need to learn it to do it in the future. That's meaningful. Also, for it to be meaningful, you have to actually understand the information. So if I don't know, if I'm learning aerodynamics and I don't understand like the wind pressure or like the wind resistance and stuff like that, I'm not gonna remember it. I can know the equations and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna remember it because it doesn't mean anything to me. All right. Another quick thing on quotes, right? Quotes. Say, all right, I'll just give you an example of a quote. In sociology, we have a guy called, I think his name is Coolidge or something like that. Not Coolidge. Yeah, I think it's Coolidge or something like that. So in sociology, we have a guy called, I think his name's Coolidge, something like that, and he has a quote. It's called, the quote is, I am not what I think I am. I am not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. There you go. Finally got it. I did that once and I got it wrong, so I had to redo that part. So, uh, what this quote actually is, or no, what this quote actually is, but what am I talking about? How to remember a quote, right? Obviously, go back to the context dependent cues and make it meaningful to you, and make it so you actually want to learn the quote. So, next, how to actually remember the quote, right? Now, what I do in RE is, or like religious education, if you don't know what RE means, but you have to learn a lot of quotes, like a lot of quotes. Now, like the kind of cheat code to remembering quotes is actually learning snippets of the quote and then embedding them. Which, what that means is, say we go back to the quote that I just read out. Say I want to remember one part of the quote. I am what you think I am, right? Now, the former part of the quote, or the last part of the quote that I read before that, you don't really need to remember that part. Just remember, I am what I think you think I am. Pretty simple, isn't it? So what you do in an essay or something like that, you embed that quote. So let's say you forgot the first part of the quote, and you say, Coolidge, I say, Coolidge goes over the presentation of the self through arguing that your self perception is, I am what I think you think I am. See how I didn't use the first part of the quote? It doesn't really matter. You embed the quote. You can even do it even simpler than that. Just say like, I am what I like. If you only remember, I am what I think you think, then just embed that part of the quote. You can get the same amount of marks even if you don't know the whole quote. But if you convey that you actually understand the quote, then you're fine. After you revise, say you've done an hour revision, right? I keep saying right, man. Oh my god, bro. Last point. What you want to do after you revise is not do anything which stimulates your brain. So say I just revised I don't know, characteristics of OCD, and then I go watch a video on depression. Like, it's going to clash in your mind. It's cognitive dissonance. Just stop. Or do anything that's stimulating. So what I like to do after I've just done like an hour revision, just go lay down on your bed, bro. Like just chill. Let the information process. Cause say if you see it as kind of like a timeline of things happening, you do this thing, that's like say this is theme one of a thing, and then you go do another theme. It doesn't make sense. It's clashing. Just do the hour revision, give your brain time to process the information, and then go do what you want to do, right? And I said right again, because I'm retarded, but it's fine. That's it for this video. Go look at your exams, man. Safe.